Introducing Lexi Voice. In a world that's more connected than ever, language barriers still limit communication. Lexi Voice eliminates these barriers, delivering real-time translations across the globe. Seamlessly connecting viewers and attendees, Lexi Voice ensures your content speaks their language, whether on-site or at home. Over 70% of the world's population speaks more than one language, yet 80% of online content is still inaccessible to non-native speakers. Lexi Voice empowers you to expand your market reach, grow your audience, and increase revenue. Ready to connect with the world? Visit AI Media's website and experience Lexi Voice today.
When you're responsible for campus-wide or enterprise AV, you need a solutions provider who handles it all, from signal distribution to intuitive room control. Meet Atlona, your strategic AV partner, combining cutting-edge signal distribution, control, and collaboration tools under one banner. We create the solutions that power your success. To learn more, visit www.atlona.com.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers, so call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.
My name is James Tieran, CEO of AVIXA, and I'm excited to welcome you to InfoComm 2025 in Orlando. Our booth this year is 7760, and there we will be showcasing the latest in broadcast technology, and most importantly, the convergence of our broadcast technology into the AV world and the AV workflow. What that means is that we will be showcasing our entire line of power over Ethernet lighting. A single RJ45 cable is simultaneously powering and controlling a suite of lights designed for broadcast excellence. Next, we will be showcasing a brand new product called the Studio Rover. It is an all-in-one mobile broadcast solution. In close partnership with AVIXA Mobile, we will be showcasing this product, which essentially is a mobile AV cart, and mounted on top is a motorized pedestal and a teleprompter system with PoE lighting. So imagine an all-in-one studio in a box. And last but not least, we are showcasing a suite of NDI-enabled monitors and teleprompter systems. At ICANN, we are forward-thinking and leading the convergence of broadcast into the AV world. What that means is the deployment of power over Ethernet technology, NDI, as well as automation through our partnership with QSys. We are excited to see you at InfoComm 2025. Thank you.
Most of us expect life to run smoothly. But we don't stop to think about what it takes to have it happen. Most of us don't have to. We think about the people who've been moving before the alarms go off. The people behind the innovation and logistics, the creativity, and the know-how. The people who connect rural communities with essential services, who work tirelessly to build, connect, power, and protect our lives. But the world isn't always predictable, and unexpected challenges demand creative solutions. We rely on those who brave and intense environments and gather the resources that fuel our daily lives. We don't have to wonder about the ins and outs of life, because that is what Wesco does. We provide innovative supply chain solutions every hour, every day, all around the globe. Our people roll up their sleeves and help create a world you can depend on. Focusing on the details, the challenges, and the unexpected, so that you can live life on the road. Wesco. Ingenuity delivered.
Salter, Senior Vice President of Marketing for AVer Information Inc. James, good to see you.
Thanks, Ben. Good to see you as well.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about AVer and what you provide in the AV industry?
Yeah, thank you. AVer is an award-winning provider of video collaboration solutions for all sorts of use cases in different industries. So from higher education, businesses, government agencies, healthcare, to broadcast and beyond. We offer cameras, we offer audio products and accessories just to kind of help everyone connect better. That's our slogan.
What can you tell showgoers about what they can expect at this year's InfoComm?
Well, we always like to have a little bit of fun with AVer. So since we're back in Florida this year and we're near the Magic Kingdom, and we're creating our own magic with our collaboration solutions, we're actually going to have a magic theme. So if you stop by our booth, you'll not only see some amazing magical product demonstrations, you'll also get your fortune told to see what the future holds. So you won't want to miss that.
It's a shame I'm not coming this year because I would love to experience that. That sounds great. And speaking of AVer and all the products that you offer, can you tell us a little bit more about your new product announcements and your booth experience this year?
Yeah, totally, actually. So if you visited our booth in the past, you'll notice a lot of energy around our product demonstration stations, including our functional conference room. So we've got that again this year, but with a twist. So we aren't just showing new products or cameras that fit into different room types. We're going to be telling an intelligent collaboration story at every station. So I'll walk you through some of those. So our solution experiences will include broadcast with our brand new broadcast quality Pro AV AI auto tracking camera. That's the TR615. So this is the big new product for us. This is so exciting for us and for our partners who want to offer an AVer broadcast camera, quality camera to their customers. So that's the first time we've had a broadcast quality camera. You got to go see that one. We also have a bring your own meeting experience with a new bundle that's coming out later this year. We're going to get a sneak peek at InfoComm. It features connectivity kits to switch devices and connect content. So again, we're not just doing cameras, we're doing things that help enhance the collaboration experience. We're also highlighting our Zoom Rooms solution. So we have a new product we announced earlier this year. That's the VB370A. That's an all-in-one video bar with Android inside. Very powerful. It also comes with the bundle. You buy the CP10G2 controller. So that actually controls the Zoom Room experience, schedule your meetings. That'll be another quick demo station. You can see how we do there with an all-in-one video bar. We'll also have a multi-camera experience with our PDZ cameras and our Matrix tracking box with third-party mics for voice tracking. So this is very popular for us right now. If you have a meeting and you want to have voice tracking, so the camera follows the speaker, we have that now. So you have our cameras, you put those together with our PDZ Lick software that's embedded in our tracking box, use those third-party mics that you all know and love, you get voice tracking comes alive. That's that magic. Then we also have a unified software solution station for room management, device management, and cloud management. And we're also going to have a bunch of our new Microsoft Teams certified Pro AV cameras. That's different with AVer. We have obviously Microsoft Teams certified cameras for conference rooms, but we also have them now for the larger training rooms, larger auditoriums and such. So we'll have some of those there. And finally, our medical grade PDZ camera, the MD330U, that's actually going to be mounted on a medical cart that you'd see in a hospital. That's used for telehealth, remote patient monitoring, and virtual news cases. So we've got the whole gamut of most of our solutions there, and we're really excited to show you our newest stuff, especially.
That sounds amazing. Are you sure you're going to be able to fit all of that on one booth?
We packed the booth nicely, yes. There's a lot there, but yeah, it'll be great.
Okay, fantastic. Well, speaking of which, where can visitors find AVer on the show floor at InfoComm this year?
Well, AVer is going to be in booth number 3181. Please stop by to see where all the fun and magic will happen.
Excellent. Well, it sounds fantastic. From all the fantastic products you have there, as well as the fortune telling that you promised to deliver, it sounds like a fantastic experience. So, James, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and we wish you all the best for this year's InfoComm show.
Thanks, Ben. See you guys at InfoComm.
we know that people are not where we have much to get this next thing. We went through another day that we didn't use the game, actually, we got. And we we have 65 rules of working correctly as an agent. But really, we're quite clear. Not the West, not the league, last year, but the league. And I think if you look a lot, practice on the infrastructure stuff. So we have to get one of the two people on the manufacturer to the right one. So I think about that. Partly, I back in white fish. More of that about actually what the again, so this is my work capital for I have a piece of fear. So we feel that they take a lot of time. It's a long time to do it. It's a strategy that you're called. You can play with the heart and that's it. Yes, software platform in the same virtue so I think it's like now figure out. So you look at a lot of people on to it, temperature. Give an ultimate I was just on a phone we were thinking about the history of our Facebook. And we're talking about the same thing. The PRE model that we have sort of a hardware coming up to get to that level. I think from there, for those of the things that are working, one blood and about this so there's no way that we can step out with that electric calculator. There's no way and obviously, one thing about that man, well, first thing is that everything's security. Everybody wants to have it. So this definitely facilities will need to provide safe, connected, and scalability. And we can talk about the scalability for a long time. All the consultants come to us in the all before. So the work is done in a way. If I can control systems, subset, every different technology. Honestly, let's just look at that there isn't anything against the cost. We can get right into the English guy as well as driving the creativity of the overall laptop and knowledge of knowledge. So we're really excited. But I think what you have to do when you come back on that. I might not just today, I think I can remember very big things, but we thought about and then we can grow. Thank you, God. Appreciate it.
Hey everybody, we are here with one of my friends, Brian Duffy from Panasonic. Brian, you had the chance to work on some unbelievable projects. We won't go into detail on some of them, but you've had a chance to work in the themed entertainment and attractions industry, and there's not a better space probably in the world than Orlando for theme parks and themed entertainment.
What are some of the demands that you're seeing some of these theme park operators ask for whenever they're building some of these new technologies and rides?
Yeah, thanks, Ben. My name's Brian Duffy. I'm with Panasonic, working as a strategic account manager focused on theme parks and immersive type of experiences like the ones that you see here in Orlando. And yes, Orlando, we're here, it's the mecca of theme parks, right? And there's a lot of new development happening that we see all around us. But particularly where I work is I work with folks like Imagineers or technologists to be able to incorporate technology as a way to help tell their story as you go through, whether that be a dark ride experience, whether that be a live event or a staging type of event. But anywhere where technology is used, specifically visual technology, used to help elevate storytelling.
You know, Brian, you see a massive contingent, especially folks here in Orlando that come to InfoComm that are part of that industry. You also see shows like IAPA dedicated really to the themed attractions and entertainment world. But I'm curious, from a provider standpoint, how early are you guys brought into these processes, and how long typically did some of these ideas and rollouts actually take from a theme park perspective?
Yeah, it truly takes a village to be able to create these attractions that you see. We enter a lot of times very early, like the park and part of the theme park community called Blue Sky phase. And that's a phase where there may just be a concept of an idea, some early on, type of conceptual drawings, but they may be able to use our technology early to just help format that idea and help kind of the clay start to harden as they test these different technologies in different spaces. And from there, they start to realize what the possibilities are, and then the full design starts to mold and come together.
Well, thanks again to Brian for joining us. The themed entertainment world is such an important part of the InfoComm community, especially here in Orlando. And every chance we get, we love to see it. Thanks so much to Brian. Thanks so much to Panasonic for being part of the conversation and continuing to push the industry forward.
I'm here with AVer. He's with Vizetto. We're going to do a little show and tell for you today with some new technology that's making virtual meetings a lot more engaging. So I'm going to hand it over to you. Go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Absolutely. So this is your normal meeting, right? So what happened is 90% of your screen has been removed and is my deck now. And I'm probably a little postage stamp somewhere in the top. And these slides are changing, and I'm talking to the slide saying, take a look at this, take a look at this. You have no idea where I'm pointing. So what we do is we transform that remote meeting into something like this, where I actually have the content, and when I'm actually looking at this, I can point out, I can circle, I can ink, I can highlight. And what that does is it's engaging something called reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning is the idea that when I write or point something specific down, your eyes are seeing what I'm talking about, your ears are hearing, listening, all to the same information. You're not reading something else while you're hearing something, because normally your eyes are darting all over the screen, right? So in reinforcement learning, I can see what you're looking at, and I give you visual feedback. If you're confused, I can go, hold on. Actually, Mark, did you get that? Like, this is what we're talking about. And the second aspect is called associative learning. Associative learning is this idea of, hey, I see that you have a bunch of videos. Can you show me any video related to that particular install? Okay, in Zoom, I go stop screen share, get away from the PowerPoint, start screen share onto a video. There's a huge gap. There's a huge disconnect. Things are not actually associating together. Whereas in Reactive, I can actually pull up that video right there and say, this video is this, and take a look at what we did on this job site. And why is that important? If you go back 5 years ago. The most memorable meetings that you have are where you associate things. Like you spill hot coffee on yourself in a meeting where there's a squeaky chair, or let's say you got into a fender bender going into somebody's meeting or a meeting. You'll never forget that in your life. Why? Because you associate powerful emotions with a whole bunch of things that actually happen in the meeting. So what reactive does is it brings reinforcement learning and associative learning back into the mix.
Well, for me, I come from more of a video production and creative content background. So I think of all the times when we would have to do a creative pitch to a client, for example, or we would need to review content. Being able to present that information in a way like this, where we could read body language and be able to present the content without having to be there in person would be hugely beneficial because we wouldn't have to travel as much, right? So we're saving time, we'd be saving money, we would be reducing our carbon footprint because of all those less travel that we would need to be doing. So I could just see huge benefits to being able to present information, but also be able to read body language in a hybrid environment like this would be super helpful.
Well, also, the problem is when you normally have a video on Zoom, and you go, I'd like to change this scene, pause here, I'd like to do this. Somebody's going clickety, typing away.
Yep.
How do you describe something where, hey, I like this, I don't like that, but I want to put our logo here. How do you even type that out? Right? Like, what's the percentage of mistakes that happen? Then you get back onto the next meeting, the logo is here, and this is over here, and that's over here. And everybody's sitting around going, no, we had the same conversation. Remember that three blind people trying to go ahead and describe an elephant. One guy is holding onto the trunk going, it's a huge snake, and somebody else is holding onto the tail. So I feel like a lot of remote meetings are like that. We're all talking about the same thing, just thinking we're describing the same thing, but because we're shutting off our visual cortex, it's incredibly difficult to be on the same page.
So how difficult or easy is it to get the Reactive Suite up and running? Does this require a lot of hardware, software? Talk me through a little bit about how do you get started with the system?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite story is we actually have a school in Peru that ordered 180 licenses, not even in Lima, it's in Arequipa, and they don't speak English. So they discovered our product through a podcast or a webinar. They downloaded the free trial off of our website. They played with it themselves, and the entire deal in tech support is being done using Google Translate because they don't speak a word of English, actually using it on a daily basis. So if they can do that, I don't know what else I can tell you. You can be up and running in 5 minutes. It is, hey, set up a folder with content, pull it up, this media, this library. I can pull up that, PowerPoint. I can resize it like I do on a phone. I flip through. I pick up a pen, ink, highlight. Now, the right type of hardware, the right type of setup, everything is important. So we want, and from the most complex to the simplest applications and use cases. And they don't speak English. So they discovered our product through a podcast or a webinar. They downloaded the free trial off of our website. They played with it themselves. And the entire deal in tech support is being done using Google Translate because they don't speak a word of English. I don't speak a word of Spanish. And, actually using it on a daily basis. So if they can do that, I don't know what else I can tell you. You can be up and running in 5 minutes. It is, hey, set up a folder with content, pull it up, this media, this library. I can pull up that, PowerPoint. I can resize it like I do on a phone. I flip through. I pick up a pen, ink, highlight. Now, the right type of hardware, the right type of setup, everything is important. So we walk our customers through all that. That's my job. That's what we do. We onboard people every single day. And from the most complex to the simplest applications and use cases.
walk-on music was. So I'm good with it. The program we're about to deliver to you, what we want to try to do is look ahead with a crystal ball into what does the world look like in 2030. It seems like we have trouble figuring out what the world will look like at 11:30. But let's pause for a little while to 4 visionaries about what they see, what they anticipate, and in many respects what they are helping create with the rest of you in the room for the next 5 years. So before the first person that I get an opportunity to be able to introduce is Chris Chavink, who is the president and CEO of Shore. Chris started her career at Shore more than 30 years ago as a quality control engineer. She worked her way through the organization, and in 2016, she was appointed Shore president and CEO, becoming only the 4th such officer in the company's 100-year history. So please join me in welcoming Chris to the stage.
Think about your commute to work. You may be listening to a podcast. When you get to work, you're probably involved with hybrid meetings all day long. Then you go home and you're watching the news at night or maybe watching a sporting event. And all along that journey, Sure's innovation has been there to capture that audio that you're listening to. So we're a part of your everyday life and you may not always know it. Our knowledge and innovation allows performance to go on flawlessly. We have a lot of empathy for our end users, so we're always looking at solutions that are going to make a meeting more productive. And when we ask our customer, we're not just asking, we go into their environment shoulder to shoulder. We're not asking ourselves, how do we make our product better? We're actually asking to make this person's job easier.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks for being here. That's great. It is good to be here, and happy 100th birthday.
Thank you very much.
You don't look a day over 90.
Thank you.
So listen, I mean, 100 years, and then we're going to spend most of today talking about the next 100 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that amount of experience, and how does that feed into the future?
You know, I've had a lot of time to reflect on that because we've been having a lot of internal and customer-facing celebrations recently. And thinking about 100 years and walking through the show yesterday, it has occurred to me that we're not successful because we're 100 years old. We're actually kind of successful in spite of being 100 years old. And that sounds kind of funny, but what I mean by that is I think about, innovation is the core of why we are all here today. And the way that the company has made it to the 100-year mark is through constant innovation and when we needed to, taking a hard left turn and changing things up altogether. And, most people don't know. They think of us as the microphone company. People don't know that we started off as a catalog company in 1925. Mr. Shure wanted to sell radio parts because you couldn't buy a factory-made radio back then. And he started a catalog company. Now, selling radio parts, he could have decided to, if he wanted to expand, he was always about growth. He could have decided to get into like home goods or clothing or something, but he had a passion around sound apparently. That's why he started with radios. And he started distributing some microphones from a different Chicago-based company within 5 years of starting the company. And he must not have liked, I can only guess, he must not have liked the quality or performance of those mics. So he took a very hard left turn before the company even turned 10 years old and decided to abandon the catalog business and start developing and making his own microphone. So a very bold move very early for somebody in his lower 30s and just starting this company. Then there would just be a whole series of inflection points for the next 90 years. The company became a microphone manufacturer and became a wartime provider to the military during the war, which kind of started the fundamentals of the Shure quality standards that we all know. I actually was taking my shuttle bus back to my hotel yesterday, and somebody saw my Shure badge next to me on the bus and said, I buy your products for everything I do in my rental business, and they just keep getting redeployed, they just keep working. And I was thinking about how that kind of started, back in the 40s, having that great quality legacy. Then, the company turned to phonograph cartridges in the mid-century. So how many people had a stir phono needle? Show of hands. Yeah, see, there's always a lot of hands that go up. So the company became more of a household name at that point. We got a little bit more out there, more of a consumer brand. But the bad side of that story is that enter into the 80s, it fell off a cliff. Probably about the most devastating period for the company, and it was time for reinvention again. So, turned back to microphones again, but it was a very narrow swath of products that we had, so the whole portfolio had to expand. And then came the late 80s, early 90s, and people were talking about wireless microphones. And I equate those conversations to our, discussions that we have about AI these days. A lot of fear, a lot of disbelief that wireless could work as well as wired, some fear, and, between us and our users alike. People just didn't like that change. But look where we are today with wireless products. That change then brought about the change from digital or analog to digital. About a decade after that, the same conversation ensued. Will this be as good? Look where we are today. We're, introducing a bunch of new digital products at our booth. And then looking at this market over the last 10 years or so, yes, we've always been in the conferencing and collaboration space, but more as kind of that front point, the gooseneck sitting on a podium at a university or the gooseneck in a boardroom. And now we're to the point where you can buy a complete server room kit, right? From the audio to the video, the compute control, and everything in between the software and DSP that drive it. So it's just been a constant series of inflection points through the company's history and never staying the same. Constantly changing, evolving, and trying to innovate and think of new ways of doing business.
That's an amazing story. Thank you. I've never actually had the entire story told in such a fashion. As you were telling it, and you were talking about Mr. Shore, I was reflecting on, half of our attendees at this show are going straight to the puppies, and a significant number of them are being dissected by the display of Shore's products that's right before you get to the puppies. And I'm like, so is it good or bad that our industry loves puppies less than microphones? I'm not sure that's a healthy place for us. Yeah. But on that display, there's a quote from Mr. Shore about the fact that you'll never achieve perfection, and you well know that, but you will never give up on it.
We'll never stop striving for it, right? And it's that quote is actually put up on almost every wall of every location that we have around the world, and people cite it all the time. So if you go in and get a Shure demo today, at the end of the demo, they're going to say that quote. So we always keep striving for it.
That's fantastic. So that's how 100 years is reflected in the next 100 years, just keeping that spirit and innovation.
I think it's about maintaining the same core values, the things that we really truly believe in, and quality being one of those, and the way we do business, and being respectful and ethical in all we do. Then the rest of it changes on top of that. The core is always there.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I could sit here and talk to you for an hour, but that would make Brad a little unhappy.
I think so, yeah.
So let's invite Brad Hinsey, who is the Executive Vice President of Global Marketing for Crestron, to join us. He is representing Crestron, which is a global leader in workplace technology. He's sharing the company's vision with us about enriching lives, enhancing organizational productivity through intelligent solutions, all built on powerful platforms centered around content, collaboration, and control. He brings insight into how Crestron is shaping the future of connected environments across the enterprise and beyond. So please join me in welcoming Brad Hinsey to the stage.
Our mission at Crestron is simple: enable exceptional customer experiences through technology.
Just simply describing controls and audio-video technology really doesn't help people grasp the full extent of what we do.
We take all the different pieces of hardware that you have in your business or your house, and we bring all of that together into one solution, whether that's in your home
making it easier to just live through simple automation, or in businesses empowering employees to do more.
Crestron makes the best technology to enable people to share information and entertainment, to connect and collaborate, whether they're in person or remote, and make any space super simple and easy to use.
Systems and solutions that people can rely on. That's our advantage. That's our difference. That's what it means to be true blue.
Mr. Hinsey, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Dave.
It's a very serious panel I have. He threatened to do a chest bump, any other kind of thing as he entered the stage.
Had to keep you on your toes.
I appreciate it. You have had a habit of doing that over the years we've known each other.
Just a couple times.
So, talk to me. This is I'm doing the David Letterman thing, by the way. If you can see that, I'm going to bring everybody out a little bit, and then we're going to just let loose. But I want to spend a little bit of time talking to you and talking about Crestron and how does the company define collaboration. I mean, let's get some of these definitions in place before we explore tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that we as an industry are at such an interesting and exciting inflection point in terms of people's relationship with technology and the way they use it. And in our mind, what we're focused on is how do we enable organizations of all types to drive a culture of collaboration and trust. And we believe that they can achieve that